Hey guys, it's Amanda. Just so you know, I don't have any like fancy cameras or anything, so I'm just recording on my iPhone. I'm looking over here because the camera's over there. So, I mean, no, I'm lying. I'm looking over here because I'm over there and the camera's over there. But that would be weird. So, I'm sorry, I'm not looking directly at you. Okay, big news. Thing number one that you need to know is that I found a potential location for my school. So, I'm so excited about this location because the wildest thing is that when I was dreaming about this for years before I even thought that it was going to be, a possibility, before I even moved to this state, we were living in New York my entire life from birth. And then my husband's job brought us to New Jersey. And when I got to New Jersey, like the doors flung open for me to be able to start the school. But way before we moved, way before like this was set into motion, I always dreamed of having my school in a house. I wanted to transform a house into a school because I wanted it to not feel like traditional school at all. I wanted it to be very comfortable, like where the children would come and they would feel like they were home, where there was a kitchen and we could cook together, and there would be a pantry and there would be cabinets stocked with like fresh fruits and apples or whatever, crackers or things that the kids could eat all day. They could nibble if they wanted to. They could make their own sandwiches or salads if they wanted to. They could, use the bathroom when nobody's telling you to ask if you can use the bathroom, like just be comfortable. We could have a living room space where we could have like our meetings on couches. We could have I wanted the space to be separated into different zones, like obviously some rooms, like a library and things like that, but certainly no desks, maybe just like a long conference room table or individual like round tables in some room where kids could work. But I wanted it in a home with a backyard. That's just has always been my dream. And the people that I'm working with who are helping me bring this to life were like, you might have to just settle for a storefront or something else. And I looked online. I don't even know how this came up, but I felt like it might be too early to start looking. But then I looked online, and I found in a town that's just a little further out than what I was originally thinking, where I thought I would be. I found the home that lived in my brain for years. Like, this home is not just a home. This is the home that was in my brain before I ever saw it, right? So I'm online and I'm looking like, okay, let me see what's for rent, like within a 10-mile, 15-mile radius from where I am. And I came across this house that used to be a daycare center, and it was a daycare center for 50 years. And the previous owner ran the daycare center successfully for 50 full years until she passed away in 2022. And then the house was sold last year, and now it's back on the market, and they're looking for someone else to rent it. And the realtor said that the owner was very excited to find out that, somebody like me who wants to do something very similar in the space came along. And oh man, like, I don't know if it's all going to work out. If you've ever rented anything or bought a home, you know that there's so many hoops you have to jump through sometimes, and all the paperwork and whatever else. But while I was standing there, I was like looking at the place, and I'm standing there and my realtor's talking to me, and the seller's realtor's talking to me, and I brought my in-laws because they have a few properties, and I was like, let me bring somebody who knows what they're talking about. And everybody's talking to each other, and I'm just there like praying in my mind, like, Lord, in your name, like, if this is what you want for me, I mean, if it's not, I'll be fine. But like, please, it's amazing. So yeah, that's some exciting news. So say a prayer that I can actually get that space. It's like perfect. It's already zoned. It's like right next to a sports complex. It's nearby this horse ranch that I really love. It's across the street from an elementary school. There's a lot of families over there. I just really love it. So please say a prayer, pray with me for this. I also wanted to talk to you guys about my school being Christ-centered. So I put up a poll on my Instagram and I was asking like kind of this or that questions. Like, do you prefer access to technology or an abundance of outside time, right? Things like that. Like, if you had to choose one, which would be important? Which would you like the most? Which is most important to you? One of the questions was Christian or curriculum with Christian worldview, yay or nay. And a lot of people said, most people said yes, but I think it was just like one more person than the people that said no. It was almost split in half. And a lot of people skipped the question entirely. And I think it's because it's probably a nay, but they didn't want to say that, like, because maybe they might think it comes off rude or something, or that's just my speculation. But I wanted to kind of talk about what I mean by a Christ-centered, like Christian worldview kind of school. So I used to work in a Catholic school. Something that I really loved about being in a place like that was the ability to center yourself. So all children need social emotional learning, right? There's always got to be some aspect of like, how do you teach emotional regulation? How do you teach resilience? How do you teach perseverance? What do you do in the hard times? Because all teachers know, like, the kids are going to come to you with something. They're going to come to you with something, that some existential question or some big life situation that you are going to have to help them navigate. And for me personally, there's nothing else that I can tell children. Like, if I do something else, I'm lying. What I can tell children is to turn to Jesus. That's what I know. I know that, like, if you read the Bible, not necessarily even religion, if you read the Bible and you get to know him and you pray, in my opinion, based on the truths of my life and what I have done and what has happened to me and my family, I know that I need to lean on Jesus. And I don't know anybody, I don't know how, if you don't have Jesus to lean on, how you can navigate how crazy life can get sometimes. So yeah, what I really want is the ability to center us in the morning, like not just the children, but also me. When I worked in the Catholic school, one of my favorite things was that when the kids came in the morning, before we started the day, we would have prayer, and then I would just play my Maverick City or my Hillsong United or my, my Christian music, and we would just journal and just regulate ourselves. Like, let's just release whatever we have. Let's give it all to the Lord. Let's ask him for a good day, and then let's get on with it, right? And that centered all of us in such a way that, like, I've not experienced in any of the other 4 schools that I worked at. And that's something that I want to recreate in my school. I want my children to have the ability to have access to that. I want to teach them about the creator of the universe. I want to teach them, how Jesus taught us to live, like, humbly, and how to be a good person. And I want to be able to turn to that when things get hard. And I think that in order to have like a very good relationship with students and a successful classroom, I found over the years that I've done that best when I've been able to truly be myself. And just Jesus is just such a big part of my life, and he's the reason why I'm opening this school, that I would be holding back a part of myself, and it just wouldn't be true. So yeah, I think that when it comes to like the religion, that's not really what it is. It's more an understanding of the word, a centering using prayer and gospel music. And also I want them to be able to explore the things that come up in the world through the Christian lens. So I want the kids to be able to understand that everyone is welcome, everyone is worthy, we're not better than anyone else, our sin is the same as everyone else's sin. I'm not better than you because I sin differently than you. Like, there's that doesn't exist. And that's something that I really want to foster in my school. I really want the children that come to my school to leave there knowing that they are just as worthy as everyone else, and everyone else is worthy too. And it doesn't matter what you see in another person that you could judge, because judging is very easy to do, that you stop yourself and you really learn the true teaching of Jesus, that Jesus didn't judge anybody. He aligned himself with those who he felt needed him most, and those were the people that others were telling him to stay away from. And he never did that. He loved everybody. And I feel like middle school can be a place that can get really mean sometimes, and it can get very because of the insecurities that the kids have, it can get very uncomfortable for the kids, and sometimes there's a lot of bullying that goes on. And I think that if there's this fundamental understanding of the Christian worldview that teaches that you are no better than anyone else, and your job is to love everyone, and to be able to look at people with an open-mindedness and an open heart, and see them as something magnificent, something just like this intricate, special, unique miracle that they actually are, and just get curious about like God's creativity, and like, wow, he can make a person like that, or he can make a person like this, or like, I've never experienced that before, and just be curious in a loving way. I feel like that is the message of Christianity, and that's what I want my kids to leave with. So that's what I mean when I say Christian-based program, a Christ-centered school. It's a school that teaches those values. And obviously, like if a person is not Christian and they want to come to the school, I would never say no. But we are going to be reading the Bible, and we are going to be praying and listening to our Christian music. So, but there are options for half days, where students can come in the afternoons for the enrichments, for like the journalism part, or just the socialization part, without the curriculum or the prayer that's happening in the morning. That's an option too. So, yeah. I just want to be as inclusive as I can while also staying true to myself. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay, thanks for watching, and say like 3 prayers for the property for me, please. Okay, bye.